Hello everyone, you're watching The Last Word and I'm Maria Shakil. Protests, demand for justice continue to echo across the country for the 31-year-old RG Cout hospital victim who lost her life in a gruesome rape and murder. A case which has shocked each one of us. The political face-off between the BJP and the ruling TMC government in Bengal continue to brew up. Today we saw a fresh flashpoint between the two on the streets of Kolkata. The BJP has thrown its weight behind the protesting doctors who demand the Kolkata police chief's resignation over the serious allegations which have been made by the victims' parents that the police offered bribe to them. However, Chief Minister Mamata Banerjee steadfastly backs the Kolkata police commissioner. Amidst the political face-off, the Supreme Court had some tough questions to ask the Bengal government. First, the missing autopsy report. Delay of over 14 hours in filing the FIR. The Apex Court has also asked protesting doctors to return to work by 5 p.m. on Tuesday. We at NDTV continue with our campaign to safeguard our daughters. On the show tonight, I ask, will a cornered Mamata sack the Kolkata top cop? Also, will the doctors now follow the Supreme Court order and return to work? I'll ask those questions on the panelists who will be joining me shortly, but first up, here's the report.
Another BJP versus Mamata Banerjee face-off on the streets of Kolkata over the rape and murder of the RG Cout hospital doctor. The BJP is demanding the Bengal Chief Minister's resignation over the allegation by the victims' parents of the police offering money to them. Mamata Banerjee dismissed the allegation as being slander.
क्या अभी भी ममता बनर्जी आप अपने पद पर बनी रहना चाहती हैं? क्या यह सिद्ध नहीं हो गया कि आप विफल रही? क्या यह आपकी जिम्मेदारी नहीं है कि आप इस्तीफा दें? और इस्तीफा क्यों? इस्तीफा इसलिए जिससे एक निष्पक्ष जांच हो सके।
মিথ্যে কথা কুৎসা অপপ্রচার চক্রান্ত সেদিনের ভিডিওগ্রাফ প্রত্যেককে আমি নিচে নামার পরে প্রেস করেছিলেন প্রেস কনফারেন্সে প্রেসের সাংবাদিকরা ছিলেন আমার সাথে সিপি ছিল এবং আমার পরে আবার তার বাবা মাকেও আপনারা জিজ্ঞেস করেছিলেন সে রেকর্ডও আমাদের কাছে আছে।
Political protests like this one by the BJP where they tried to break these barricades and reach the DC North's office, and of course they were stopped by the police, following which a deputation was handed over to the DC North. Why is the DC North important here? That's the context that Mamata Banerjee was talking about. Now, the members of the family of the victim have made a very serious allegation, specifically naming DC North, saying he offered them money.
The BJP has also demanded the sacking of Kolkata's police chief Vineet Goyal. The victims' parents have claimed that they cremated their daughter's body under police pressure and alleged that a police officer offered them money to bury the incident. Mamata Banerjee today said the top cop had offered his resignation but was asked to stay.
কলকাতা পুলিশ কমিশনার আমার কাছে নিজে এসেছে অনেকবার পদত্যাগ করার জন্য গত 7 দিন আগে সামনে পুজো আপনারা এবার আমায় বলুন ল এন্ড অর্ডার লোকটাকে তো জানতে হবে যে থাকবে কোন পাড়ায় কোন পুজো হচ্ছে পুজো কমিটিগুলো কি থিম করছে কোথায় কি পুলিশ পোস্টিং আছে এটা পুজোর সময় কিছুদিন ধৈর্য ধরলে কি মহাভারত অশুদ্ধ হয়।
In the Supreme Court, tough words from Chief Justice D.Y. Chandrachud, who said a key document connected to the post-mortem appeared to be missing. The top court also asked doctors to return to work by 5 p.m. on Tuesday, as it asked the state government to report on what measures have been taken at state-run hospitals to improve security. The CBI has also been asked to file a fresh status report on its investigation.
Kolkata and beyond have seen massive protests in this case amidst allegations of a cover-up and evidence tampering, charges that have been categorically denied by the police and the state government. The ruling Trinamool Congress in West Bengal says that the CBI has arrived at the same conclusion as the Kolkata police amidst calls for justice in a case where there is no information in the public domain about the progress of the investigation by the CBI in this case. With camera person G.D. Shankar in Kolkata, Saurabh Gupta, NDTV.
Let me bring in my guests now. Shikha Mukherjee, senior journalist, is joining me from Kolkata. We have Charu Pragya representing the BJP. Tausif Ahmed Khan is an advocate and a political analyst, also a TMC supporter. And Dr. Aparna Mohanta is a protester in Kolkata and a general physician. Dr. Aparna, I'm going to begin with you. Of course, the concerns continue of what next in these protests. The Supreme Court is looking into the case. Several questions have been asked. There is a CBI probe which is ongoing. What next for all of you? The Supreme Court has said that you must join the work by 5 p.m. Is that something that you will do?
Thank you, Maria, for having me on the show. As the Honorable Supreme Court has ordered the junior doctors to be back on work, they are in a meeting right now as I speak, and they're yet to decide. But whatever the steps they take, rationally, we would support them.
Okay. So we'll wait and see till how long will these protests continue, or will the protesting doctors actually follow the Supreme Court's order and join back the work? Shikha Mukherjee, coming to you. You know, Mamata Banerjee, of course, is facing one of the toughest challenges in terms of her image, and also from the point of view of governance. It's coming from outside the BJP and also from within, with the likes of, Jawahar Sarkar and others quitting. My question to you, ma'am, is can the Chief Minister brazen it out? You know, the fact is that there has been a great degree of strong arm tactics which has been, done by her. Is that really the right approach to have?
Well, I'm not very sure what you mean by strong arm tactics in this context.
Ma'am, the point that she made in the context of the police commissioner, that he came and offered to resign, but he will not be resigning, I've made up my mind. You know, those lines that the manner in which first it begins with backing the entire Kolkata police investigation. When the party, of course, realizes that there are visible mistakes or visible flaws in the investigation, then they take few steps back. But then now when the protesting doctors are demanding that the police commissioner resigns, she's continuing to back him. How fair is that politically?
Well, there are two issues here. One is that she is the chief minister. She has no choice except to back up her government and the people that she has appointed to head the various institutions of the government, including Kolkata police. That is the kind of formality which is expected of a chief minister. Not to do so, to accept that the chief minister is, that the police commissioner was wrong, he was incompetent, he botched it all up, would be admitting her own mismanagement, which she's unlikely to do at this point. Second is that when she is today, I listened to her press conference, and what I heard from her was that she is quite anxious to restore some semblance, not normalcy, but a semblance of normalcy by appealing to the doctors to get back to work. And she's telling the people that get off the streets, enough is enough. Now, that too, from the perspective of a chief minister, is reasonable. However, it is politically a very, very slippery slope that she's trying to negotiate and trying to crawl back as the lady in charge of West Bengal, the powerful leader, the Didi of everybody, and all of that. Now, that is, as I said, a slippery slope, and she's not making much headway. The other thing is that here is Mamata Banerjee, who was known to be someone who took the initiative into her own hands and was actually quite dramatic in her reactions to mismanagement in some of the public institutions, including hospitals, in her first term, when she used to barge in unexpectedly and then sort of take everybody down and say that, look, this all that you're doing is all wrong. For her now to defend a government that she has been in charge of for now 13 years. For her now to have to defend the indefensible must be a very, very tough problem. And
Okay.
with the BJP today, in 2011, the opposition was very weak. In 2024, the opposition is vocal, it's not weak, and the BJP is baying for her blood.
Okay.
Therefore, this is a political live. Johar Sarkar's letter, for instance, is like a live bomb thrown into her lap. She doesn't know how to handle it, and that's very evident from
Yes,
what she
and
said
because
today.
if the challenges are coming from within, likes of Jawahar Sarkar, who served as a member of parliament of the TMC, has gone on to level some
He
serious
still is.
allegations of the manner in which this government is functioning in Bengal. It's of course very, very difficult for her to defend. But talking about it politically, and welcome Karuna Nandi, senior advocate of the Supreme Court, on the show. Ms. Nandi, I'm going to come to you in just a bit, but Charu, Pragya and Tausif now on the screen. We did try to get a TMC spokesperson on the show, but the TMC declined, saying that they would not be participating in the discussions today. But, Charu, talking about the politics of it, the BJP, of course, is sensing an opportunity. But there is a larger law and order question also here at play. Of course, I'm not one of those who will be saying that why is the BJP raising this question, because you are an opposition party, you have all the rights to do so. But the larger question of law and order.
My dear, good evening. The protests which are happening in Kolkata, across West Bengal right now, are not led by a fraction of a political party. These are the people's protests. These are real people who are still disturbed by the way the death happened, and consequently the investigation didn't happen. And that is why they're on the streets today. In fact, I am feeling this sense of pride that we are not giving up on an issue as great as this. We actually killed the doctor twice. Once when it actually happened, and the second time when we failed to give her justice. And every single day, more and more discrepancies come out and they are revealed. It's heartbreaking to see. In fact, more than heartbreaking today, it is becoming a source of anger for citizens across the country to see a system, an administration, a chief minister, a police commissioner so lax about it. Lax to a certain extent that they have allowed protesters to get threats of molestation and rape. They have allowed all the evidence to be destroyed. They have lied to the Supreme Court. They have erased CCTV footage, because CCTV footage was supposed to exist from 8:30 a.m. to 10:30 p.m. instead of 14 hours. The Supreme Court has given barely 27 minutes. There are 2 vaginal swabs that are found. There are 2 death timings that are found. Instead of cordoning off the area where this crime happened, renovations were carried out. Please tell me, if this is not a massive cover-up led by the administration, then what is it? And why shouldn't the citizens demand for a resignation of not just the police commissioner who's being shielded by Mamata Banerjee, but by the CM herself, who's the health minister, who's the home minister, who's a woman herself, and instead of taking action and aiding in this investigation, all she wants to do is write a letter and pretend to protest. We have a problem, and political party or otherwise.
Then why is the chief minister shielding the police chief? First, the chief minister was shielding and backing the entire investigation, Tausif, and now she's, trying to defend, what is visibly indefensible. Just look at how damaging this letter is of Jawahar Sarkar, where he talks about how there is corruption, there is extravagant lifestyle and an overbearing attitude. There is everything going wrong. And that, that it has not happened, and whether punitive steps and the government is not taking are too little and quite too late. These are some soul-searching questions which have to be asked from within, and it is being asked from within.
Madhya, you are right. There are corruption and there are lavish lifestyle which has been noticed, and any common citizen, a resident of Bengal, will pose this question to the government. But right now we are discussing a case where the entire allegation, the reason why there was huge outcry, was that the person accused and arrested in the matter by the Kolkata police, Sanjay Roy, is not the only person, and this is actually a gang rape. That was the first allegation, and that there was a cover-up attempt by Kolkata
Again,
police.
a part of
Now,
this letter. No, one moment.
everybody,
Because you're trying to make an argument which is completely, which is, full of fallacy. I would bring your notice to this point. I think normalcy may have been restored in the state much earlier if the caucus of the corrupt doctors was smashed and those guilty of taking improper administrative actions punished immediately after the scandalous incident happened. This is not what the BJP is saying or the opposition is saying or the protesting doctors are saying.
first of all, I would like you to withdraw the word fallacy that you have used against me, because this is not a Supreme Court's finding. Neither is this a report of the CBI. Both the CBI took 27 days, over 100 statements and 12 polygraph tests. And after that, CBI is reached to the same conclusion that Kolkata police has reached. Neither the Supreme Court has made any comment that there is a cover-up, or Supreme Court has any finding.
No, Supreme Court has raised questions, and Ms. Nandi will be highlighting that for us.
Yes, raised
Ms.
question.
Nandi, of course, the Supreme Court did ask several questions to the Bengal government, including why delay in FIR.
I'm not finished.
Why? No. I mean, I'm just saying that you have to be factually correct for you to say
but
that the Supreme Court has not said anything may not be correct. Yes, Ms. Nandi, please.
No. You have to let me finish. You have to give me 10 seconds. You have to give me 10. No. You have to give me 10 seconds. Collins, do not call me. Do not call me if you don't let me speak. No, you go. You don't let me speak. You be a BJP. You are here to speak BJP.
You can level all sort of allegations. It's okay. This is not for the first time I've heard that. Won't be the last. Karna Nandi, please, on the screen.
You go.
Let me tell that to my producer. Karna Nandi on the screen. Yes, Ms. Nandi, go ahead.
What was your question?
Yes, Ms. Nandi, the points which has been raised by the Supreme Court with regards to the nature of investigation by the Kolkata police.
There are a number of questions that have been raised with regard to the filing of the FIR that was at night. The fact that the body was given much later. There are a number of questions that the Supreme Court is asking, and really, I think that anyone who has been there in the hearing or watched the hearing is shocked at the kind of travesties that the Kolkata police has committed in this case. I think what Tausif was saying on the gang rape is what possibly might be borne out that as correct, that the accused might be the only rapist, that there might not have been a gang rape, in fact, and that might have been something that played out over social media incorrectly. I would like to say, though, that, I am representing the joint platform of doctors before the Supreme Court, so I can't say much more than what is happening in court. But I would like to comment quite strongly on senior members of the TMC saying that the doctors are not working, patients are dying. All of the doctors, the doctors that we represent, the joint platform of doctors, have gone back to work. The residents had not gone back to work. They were not feeling safe. I am not representing them, someone else is. They were not feeling safe. But now the court has put various provisions, protections into place, and let us see what happens with them. However, quite clearly what is happening is senior members of the TMC, like Mr. Banerjee, Mamata Banerjee's nephew, are making completely false averments, like saying that there was a man who died because of negligence of the doctors. This is entirely incorrect. I have the clinical notes before me. A man came from Srirampur. The clinical notes show that he was properly attended to and that he died of a myocardial infarction, and that this is something that could not have been prevented. So these kinds of very irresponsible statements, blaming a class of people that are extremely upset, and understandably so, for deaths that were not preventable otherwise. People who are working extremely hard. I mean, I represent 25,000 senior doctors. People who are back at work, still being threatened, working extremely hard, and yet being demonized like this by senior members of the party. That is unacceptable. And we should take note of that.
Yes, absolutely, Ms. Nandi. Point very well taken. So, Shikha Mukherjee, coming to this point, that the agitation is non-political and a spontaneous one. This is what is being seen. This is something which is a fact now. So, for all that is being said by, TMC, that it's politically motivated, there's a larger agenda for, destabilizing a stable government. Do you think there has to be a great degree of caution on the part of the Chief Minister here?
There are two things here. One is that, yes, one part of the movement is certainly has no political banners with it. The second, there is another part of the public's mobilization which is with political banners. So there are two kinds of rallies and public mobilizations that are happening in West Bengal, and one is so adamantly apolitical in declaring itself apolitical. It's so adamant about declaring itself apolitical that, and yet their demand is entirely political. And therefore, there seems to be a gap somewhere, number one. Number two is that, yes, Mamata Banerjee's insistence, which Johar Sarkar has pointed out in his letter, that this is a politically motivated issue, is, I think, as he himself has said, is a mistake. Mamata Banerjee is mistaken. People are outraged. People are angry. But the fact of the matter remains that there are this anger and disillusionment with Trinamool Congress is also a disillusionment of the entire political establishment by declaring that they will have no political banners, that they will not allow the politicization of their movement. The locally organized mobilizations of the people, including, the night vigils, the candlelit marches, these are a rejection of all political parties and what they represent. And that is a very, very, very serious indictment of the entire political class, of all the political parties everywhere.
Okay. That's a point very well taken, ma'am. Let me bring in the doctor on the panel, Dr. Aparna. Of course, we'll know about whether the protesting doctors will be calling off their protest and returning to work. But the larger question is, this is about justice and punishment at the same time. That there is a role of the Kolkata Police Commissioner that makes his, the entire police force is now under the scanner because of the manner in which a couple of cops acted. But how does resignation really help? Or how does his removal really help?
So, Maria, there's a certain change that I want to say to the context. The protest will continue, but maybe they'll go back to work. But let me speak on behalf of a common man. We do not understand the algorithms of politics. Whatever we understand are its deliverables. Today, as the Supreme Court, Honorable Supreme Court, heard the case for the second day, as a common man on the street, we expected a better outcome of justice. The Honorable Chief Minister urged her subjects to return back to Utshab and the junior doctors back to work. But the perpetrators of the crime are still at large. The system that failed Abhaya are still left unaccounted for. So the common man has every reason to feel betrayed and angry. He cannot circumvent the system to send his child for education abroad. So the faith in the system has to be retrieved fast and as soon as possible. We would urge the judiciary to take due note, to take cognizance of the matter and make justice delivered fast and quick, the perpetrators be booked and the system is accounted for. So till then, I remained, as I said, Maria, deeply anguished, ashamed and numb as a common man. Thank you.
All right, Dr. Aparna, thank you so much for your time. Charu Pragya, Shikha Mukherjee, Karuna Nandi and also Tausif Ahmed Khan. Of course, this is our ongoing campaign, something that we have been following relentlessly, and every aspect of this ongoing investigation and the case we are continuing to track very, very closely. That's all from me.